What's up guys, welcome back today to another video on this channel. Hope you're all doing amazing, fantastic. In today's video we're going to be going over Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I woke up really early to get this view. There are clouds there, like it's amazing. Birds are flying around, just awesome. If you remember, I have reviewed Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, I think it was, on this channel, which are both written by Leigh Bardugo. So that's actually a duology that comes after the Shadow and Bone trilogy. So if you can see there at the back, it says these are the three Shadow and Bone trilogies, and that's Kazbreker's duology, and the story continues in these two. So as of now, I haven't read these two, but have read this and this. So this is the first one of the Shadow and Bone trilogy, which is Shadow and Bone, New York Times #1 best-selling author, Leigh Bardugo, and it is also a Netflix original series. Yes, I checked that up. It's pretty awesome. Before we jump into my review of the book, which I'll try to keep as brief as possible, let's talk about the back of the book. Enter the Grisha verse with book 1 of the Shadow and Bone trilogy, now a Netflix original series. Again, as I mentioned, you can go check it out. Soldier, Summoner, Saint. Orphaned and expendable, Alina Starkov is a soldier who knows that she may not survive her first trek across the Shadowfold, a swath of unnatural darkness crawling with monsters. But when her regiment is attacked, Alina unleashes dormant magic not even she knew she possessed. As the danger to the kingdom mounts and Alina unlocks the secrets of her past, she will make a dangerous discovery that could threaten all she loves and the very future of her nation. So this is based in Ravka. As you know, the duology was based over off in Ketterdam, Kerch. This is based in Ravka. Very hard to understand. I know if you're a first time viewer, you might not understand these words, but that's the place. Just remember that. Now, in this book, it mainly focuses on people called Grisha. Grisha are people who are able to summon things slash do different magic styles or whatever. I'll try and explain it as much as I can. There's a page here, that's what I'm going to go through. The Grisha, soldiers of the Second Army, masters of the small signs. So first are the Corporalki, the order of the living and dead. So that's one category, the Corporalki, in which we get the heart trenders and the healers. So I believe the heart trenders and healers come under the little bay 9 category, like healers. Then we have the Etherealki. Now, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correct. It just says Etherealki. The orders of summoners. Now, Squallers, Inferni, and Tide Makers. I'm guessing that Inferni are the ones who summon magical fire, and Tide Makers summon water. And the last one are the Materialki, the order of fabricators, which is Duras and Alchemy, which are not mentioned too much in this book. This is like a basic map. There's Fjerda, there's Ravka, and I think there's Shu. And in the duology, we come to know that Kerch is somewhere towards off the side. So that's just basically what I can explain, giving an overall look at the book. Now I'll try to go a little bit deeper. The summoners Grishas, are the people who are able to summon particular parts of nature. Like the Inferni can summon fire, the Tide Makers can summon water. Similarly, in this book, Alina Starkov finds that she's able to summon light. She's the sun summoner, something her country has waited for forever. They've always wanted a sun summoner because they know that a sun summoner is able to actually remove the shadow fold, which I just explained is a swath of unnatural darkness crawling with monsters. So when her regiment was attacked, she wanted to protect her friend Mal, so she unleashes that magic and she gets rid of those horrible monsters living in the shadow fold who just hate light. So what happens is she is then taken to the Darkling. Now here's another character. Right now I've introduced three characters. There's Alina, the main protagonist of this book. There's Mal, who's her best friend. They grew up together. They were orphans together, and now they're in the army together. The first army, the army that is the whole army of Ravka. And the third character I've introduced now is the Darkling. The Darkling is basically the ruler, you can say. Like, there's the king, but the king doesn't do much. Like, the Darkling is one step below him, and the Darkling takes care of everything. The king is just there. The king and queen are just there. So, it's the Darkling who sees Alina, and so he just unleashes a large amount of darkness and tells her to summon light. So, she doesn't know how to do that. So, what he does is, in the darkness, he cuts her hand. and that summons something from inside her, and she just lose light. And everyone around there is shocked. So now this small little poor soldier who's never known anything in her life is now taken to live with the Grisha. The Grisha live in this massive palace, and they get everything. I don't know why they're not helping other people, but they live in that massive palace. She gets to go there, and she has to go meet the king and the queen. So she does her magic stuff there, and just now comes back. Now the Darkling tells her it's time to start training. She's supposed to start training so that she can use the sun summoning power without anyone's help. Like, she doesn't need to be cut. She doesn't need, quote unquote, an amplifier. An amplifier is an object or a person that can increase someone's strength or at least bring it out. So the Darkling himself is an amplifier. Whoever he touches can feel their powers increase, or at the very least for Alina, come out, because she can't summon it on her own will. So it's just like she's just kind of stuck. So now she goes to train with Bagra, another character introduced, who is basically a person who just trains all summoners. And she's trying to get Alina to summon it herself. She is an amplifier as well, but she wants Alina to summon it herself. Alina can't. Like, she's never done it before in her whole life. And it's weird to ask something of someone in this much time if you've never done it before. Though there's a little point to be made that children can do it at a very young age. Like, they're able to summon stuff. Like, I don't know why she can't. Another character who I would like to introduce is the Apparat. So Apparat, the Apparat, and he is an extremely weird character. He's just kind of there. He's like a saint of the castle, but he's just always there. Like, he is a creepy character. He has like black gums and yellow teeth, and he's just there. He's so weird and annoying. Like, she's in the hospital and no one's there, and he just randomly comes out of the shadows. What the hell? And he's just there and talking to her and telling her weird stuff like, people are praying to you. You need to be with me. You need to. It's good for us to be friends. And he tries to attack her. When someone comes, he just disappears. Like, he's out of the room. He slithers out of the room. It's extremely weird. Now, another character introduced in time. The next character I would like to introduce is Genya. Genya. Now, how I read it in the book was Genya with a G, but in the series they call her Genya, so I'll just assume that that is the correct pronunciation. So it's Genya. And Genya is actually, I think, a fabricator. If I'm not mistaken, she is able to modify her appearance. She's basically a servant for the queen, and she just takes care of the queen's appearance to make her look better, like removing dark circles, removing pimples. I could use her. And after this book comes Siege and Storm and Run and Rising. So it's basically a trilogy which can be finished in a matter of like 4 or 5 days if you're like an average reader. It's not too long. The print is pretty big, I guess, not too small. Maybe that's just me. So the Darkling is just trying to desperately get that power out of her. And Mal is completely against the idea of her doing any of this. He's like, why are you with all these people? You don't belong with these people. You're not one of them. How are you here? And she is completely distraught. Like, she got to meet him once, and he's telling her all of this. Another character I would like to introduce is Zoya. She is basically the favorite of the Darkling, but she no longer is, because Alina is here. So she's extremely jealous of Alina. Plus, owing to the fact that Alina is a more powerful summoner, and also probably owing to the fact that she got beat up. Zoya got beat up by Alina in the practice training class. So just yeah, it's actually enough to make anyone mad. I would be mad. I would be mad because someone is better than me. I want to be better than them. I would be mad. I mean, I won't use my powers and smash them into a wall so that they break their back and can't talk, but I'll be mad. Now, Zoya is not an important character, but from what I've read of the Casbreaker duology, she does become important later on. So in this book, it's not an important thing to mention her, but I felt like I needed to, because she does show up later on. This is just basically the starting of the Grisha verse. Like, when I was reading the duology, I was a little confused about what are Grisha and what exactly is Ravka, Fjerda, Shu, and Kirch. What are all of these different things? Where, like, I was extremely confused half of the time. I didn't know exactly what Grisha were, why Fjerdans hate them, what was the like relation between Fjerdans and Grisha, why they like to kill each other. So that is slightly explained in this book and in the further books to come. A little bit of a spoiler, extremely small spoiler. I would just like to say, if you don't want to listen, just skip to the timestamp in the description down below, though this spoiler segment is not very long. It is that Zoya and Jenya show up in Crooked Kingdom later on. So, like, Zoya and Jenny are good friends. I wouldn't say friends, like, they know each other, they live with each other, they fight with each other. So, when Nina and Matthias, I think, go to visit them, they actually still live in Ravka, and they help Kazbecker and his crew to overcome something by changing Willen Van Eyck's appearance. I still remember these names, I can't believe it. And I guess most of us, we tend to find stuff like this extremely hard to understand. It's really not. We just have to get a little bit deeper into this to understand exactly what's going on. Like I said, after you read the book, you can easily go and check out the Netflix original series. I believe it's really good. I don't watch it because I usually prefer to just read the books and not let the series and movies spoil me, like, unless it's Harry Potter. Like, Harry Potter series is amazingly made. They didn't cut out all of that essential information which is common in other movies. Like, they do cut out some essential information, but the Harry Potter movies, they kept everything important in. So I'm not really sure about this. If any of you have seen it, or if you liked it, you can just tell me down in the comments, because I am at a loss here. I didn't really watch it before making this video because I just don't like doing that. And I am curious to know that, since this is the Shadow and Bone trilogy, and then we have the Kazbreaker duology, the Six of Crows duology, what is this next book? Because it says the adventure continues in these next books. So, is it the adventure continuing of Kazbreaker, which would be fun? Or is the adventure just continuing of Alina, or is it just the adventure continuing of the entire, like, Ravka, Fierda, Shu, and Keradam? Is it just like a whole circle, just some random new people introduced? I'm not really sure about that, and I really want to check that out. So it's been super interesting to read this book. I just can't imagine how Leigh Bardugo writes. She creates whole massive worlds. Like, you can't expect that this thing could be possible. Like, how does it come to your mind that there should be Grisha, like a word called Grisha, who are able to summon stuff? I am at a loss here. Or maybe it's just that my brain is too small and I can't understand. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So, on that note, thank you so much for watching this video. Awesome view this is. Just can't get over the perfect timing that I got to make this video. It's just beautiful. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I am gonna see you guys next time. I've actually been summoned to go to this palace, weird thing, like it was said in the book. Hopefully, I can live there. I can't. I'll kill someone. Like, I'll kill someone there, and then they'll try and find me, and I'll sneak into. No. Goodbye.